So in terms of mentorship, I remember most of the real pivots and bold moves in my career was based on my mentors and female mentors in particular. And I remember my favorite mentor in IBM, Mandy Chessel. She was a distinguished engineer, and she really took me under her wing and introduced me to a worldwide position, number one, which was absolutely brilliant. She introduced me to the IBM Academy of Technology, which was a huge privilege to be a member there, and also introduced me to the worldwide community of information architects, where I became a leader in the team of about 800 architects in IBM that really made me realize the importance and the benefits of a community. So that was that mentor. That's a positive side. But on the negative side, I have this desire to be loved by everybody and recognized for all the hard work that I do. I know it's silly, but that's inherent in my personality, and I have worked hard over the years to not let it drive me. But a couple of years ago, I really found, with a huge wake-up call, that there are women that does not love me that much, and they particular women really, I had to struggle to not feel bullied or offended or put down in some way. So I think, and she was really an executive that's supposed to take care of women, and it was when I got cancer, basically last year, where I thought, what am I doing to myself here? Why am I allowing this to get to me? And because I worked so hard, I worked hard to please everybody and to get recognized, but I allowed this negativity to get to me. And after the cancer, I decided, let's regroup, recover, become much more calm, and just don't allow other negativity to get to you, and rather learn from it and grow. There's no such thing as a failure. It's just learning from it and growing.
Absolutely. I think a lot of people in data and in entrepreneurship, but in any field, need to hear a lot more what you just said, because it's so true. It's easy to spread yourself thin. It's easy to get stuck with the wrong metrics. It's true in business, but it's true in our careers as well. And getting that positive feedback, a recognition, feeling that your people appreciate the work you do, it's addictive. It's a form of dopamine cycle, right? The similar to sugar or other addictive substances. We want more, right?
Yeah, and before the cancer, I was always cognizant of what I say in public about vulnerabilities. I wanted to look perfect, sound perfect, be perfect. Nothing is wrong with me, or nothing really bad happened to me, or everything is perfect. But after the cancer, that's one of the things that I shifted my mindset, is it's okay to talk about the negatives and the positives, because it also helps others grow. I attended a conference late last year where the woman was talking about these alpha females, or I can't remember what they called them, but it was exactly this, and it was a whole hour of how to recover from experiences like that. So it is a thing. Women crashing and not uplifting other women. But I think the positive to take out of here is I joined Women in AI as their Chief Partnership Officer late last year. And the wisdom, the compassion, the absolute privilege to be part of that group of women was phenomenal. I mean, I got my home. I feel appreciated. Not that I crave it that much anymore, but I really felt that group of excellent women that's really doing so well in their careers are there for me and for each other and for themselves.
You found your tribe.
I found my tribe. And I want to do that for other women also.
It's so powerful, right? Like we, especially the last couple of years, we've all been forced to isolate from one another, but that really goes against the biology of our brain. We didn't evolve in isolation. We evolved because we were able to formalize, to create these partnerships with other people in what we used to call tribes. And so this word is an ancient word, but it's coming back more and more. We hear about communities online and in person and finding your tribe, but it is about, in the end, giving meaning and purpose to what we do, and also share the pain. There's a saying in Italian that says something like mal comune mezzo gaudio, which basically translates literally to, if you have a certain amount of weight and you share with someone, it's half the weight. Even if the person is not physically helping you support the weight or move it around, just the presence of someone else can make the effort a lot easier. And so definitely it's a huge point. But I wonder, like, you 10 years at 9 years, 8 years at IBM, a lot of time, information architecture. How did you get into being an information architect? What was your entrance point to the world of data?
I love the data.
And try to mix it up, the audience is global, so data.
So I actually started in the early 90s with building one of the first data warehouses in South Africa at a short-term insurance company. And that's where I started working with the SaaS software. I was completely hooked, but that was where I saw that you can't just go and throw a bunch of data sets into a pool and think you're going to get something meaningful out of it. You really have to follow best practices or principles that make sense and has been tried and tested. When I started in the consulting world in 1998, that's when the Kimball University books came out. And those books are brilliant. And I started applying those techniques from 1998 up to now. I still refer to those books. There's concepts coming out like the data mesh now, talking about domain-driven insights or domain-driven data products and things like that. These are things that has been written in those books in 1998. Distributed teams, all those things, it's nothing new, but I really love the spin that Zhamak is putting on the data mesh, because it's now not just the data warehouse, but the data lake, and everything is a mess. Nobody is really following the books or know about the books. But fortunately, there are those that has read the books and can come to the party to weigh in.
Let's talk about the problem of the shortage of talent. how many students graduate, and they just clearly not ready for the industry. They don't know what to expect. They've been trained to work with very clean data that's been already prepped for them, and they can't wait to do the cool stuff. Where we quote unquote cool stuff, we mean the latest reinforcement learning algorithms, the latest image recognition software. We both know that the largest majority of organizations don't need that, really. They would already be so much better off if someone was to walk in and standardize business terms with a business glossary and define what people mean with names like customers or products or order. That's not to say that all of that stuff is useless. It's just that I see a lot of focus on that and not enough on the management of data as an asset. What do we do with all these kids? Well, how do we bring them up to speed?
Yeah, I think what we need to do is to really get into those schools and universities and teach them data literacy, data fluency. I think that's just the foundation is not AI. The foundation is data literacy. And then when you mature, you get into data fluency. And data literacy, when you teach that, you can cover a broad spectrum of fields at a fundamental level. Basically, you need to do that with the schools, the universities, first-time jobbers, even executives. I think that's where the common language will come in. And then have more accessible education and more short courses rather than these long university degrees. I don't say that it's wrong. It isn't. It's
what's wrong is the expectation that at the end of the course you're relevant. Yeah, because the field within those 5 years moves so quickly. So
I also think the apprenticeship idea is brilliant, where you actually start working, get thrown in the deep end, and get courses as you progress. Learn and apply, learn and apply, learn and apply. I think that's something that we'll see much more of in the future.
Very interesting. An idea for a business, for sure.